Have you ever wondered why the first major villain in Naruto wasn't some legendary ninja, but a failed rebel from a village we barely knew? It seems like an odd choice, right? But what if I told you that this demon was actually the key to understanding everything that would happen in Naruto? That's right. Everything you think you know about Zabuza Momochi is about to change, and trust me, it's going to blow your mind. Picture yourself in the Hidden Mist Village, where a young boy is about to change everything. The air's thick with tension as students gather for their graduation exam. But this isn't your typical test. This is the day that earned the village its bloody nickname, and Zabuza, he's about to turn this brutal tradition into something even the village elders didn't expect. When the mist cleared that day, over 100 students lay dead, killed by someone who wasn't even supposed to be there. But here's the thing. This wasn't just random violence. This was the first move in a game that would challenge the entire ninja world. You see, everyone looks at the Hidden Mist's graduation massacre and sees a monster being born. But they're missing something crucial. In that moment, Zabuza wasn't just killing students. He was exposing a truth that the ninja world desperately wanted to hide. Their entire system was built on violence. They just packaged it prettier than he did. Think about it. Villages train children to be soldiers, send them on deadly missions, and call it maintaining peace. At least Zabuza was honest about what he was doing. But this is where it gets interesting. After failing to overthrow the Hidden Mist, Zabuza does something unprecedented. Instead of joining another village or becoming a simple rogue ninja, he creates something entirely new. With Haku by his side, he builds what we might call the first independent ninja operation. No village loyalty, no political ties, just pure business. And you know what's crazy? It was working. When we first meet him on that misty bridge, most people just see a villain threatening a bridge builder. But look closer. What you're actually seeing is the first person to prove that the village system isn't the only way. Every water clone he creates, every silent killing technique he employs, these aren't just attacks, they're demonstrations. Demonstrations that the villages don't have a monopoly on power or skill. The real genius of Zabuza's operation becomes clear when you look at how he trained Haku. While villages spent years putting students through academies and rigid training programs, Zabuza took a different approach. He found raw talent and refined it through practical experience. No bureaucracy, no politics, just pure skill development. And the results? A fighter who could go toe-to-toe with any village's best. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody expected. When Zabuza faces Team 7, he's not just fighting Kakashi and his students. He's fighting against everything the village system represents. Every clash of their kunai is a collision between two worlds, the established order and a possible new way. And as the mist swirls around them on that bridge, something bigger than a simple mission is at stake. What happens next on that bridge changes everything, but not in the way you might expect. When Gato betrays Zabuza, we see the fatal flaw in his revolutionary business model. It wasn't his skills, his strategy, or even his strength that failed him. It was trusting in a system as corrupt as the one he was trying to replace. But even in failure, Zabuza proves something incredible, that the ninja world's established order could be challenged. In his final moments, as he asks Naruto to place him next to Haku, Zabuza does something even more revolutionary than his coup attempt or his independent business model. He shows that even those who reject the system are still human. This moment doesn't just change Naruto. It changes how the entire series would approach its villains. But here's where things get really interesting. Have you ever noticed how Zabuza and Kakashi are basically two sides of the same coin? Think about it. Both were child prodigies who made their names through assassination. Both took on a single student with unique abilities. Both were known for striking fear into their enemies. The only real difference? Which side of the village gate they stood on. When you watch their fights closely, You're not just seeing two skilled ninja clash. You're watching alternate versions of the same story play out. Every time Kakashi mirrors Zabuza's jutsu, he's not just copying techniques, he's showing us glimpses of what he could have become. And when Zabuza faces Kakashi's students, he's confronting the path he never took. The genius of their parallel goes even deeper. While Kakashi had the fourth Hokage as his mentor, guiding him toward the light, Zabuza came up in the bloody mist, where violence wasn't just encouraged, it was celebrated. Same skills, same potential, completely different environments. It's like watching two identical seeds planted in different soils. Their approaches to teaching tell us everything. Kakashi tests his students with bells, teaching them about teamwork. Zabuza trains Haku through survival, teaching him about necessity. Both are trying to prepare their students for the ninja world. They just see that world very differently. But here's the thing that'll really make you think. Both methods worked. Both created incredibly skilled ninja. Both inspired absolute loyalty. But there's something even more fascinating about their relationship that most people miss. When Zabuza and Kakashi fight on that bridge, they're not just fighting each other, they're fighting their own reflections. Every water clone dispersed, every lightning blade charged, is loaded with a question. Is this who I could have been? And this brings us to something that'll completely change how you see every fight in Naruto. Everyone remembers Zabuza's massive sword and his water dragons, but his real mastery? It was all in your head. Think about the first time we see him fight. What's the first thing he does? He doesn't attack. He doesn't even move. He creates mist. Now, you might think this is just about hiding, but that's exactly what Zabuza wants you to think. That mist? It's not just about making you blind. It's about making you feel blind. There's a difference, and it's terrifying. When you can't see, your mind starts playing tricks on you. Every sound becomes a potential attack. Every breath could be your last. And in that moment, Zabuza's already won the battle before striking a single blow. Remember when he starts listing off vital points in the mist? Larynx, spine, lungs, liver. He's not giving a biology lesson. He's making you imagine your own death. By the time he mentions the heart, your own is probably racing. That's not just fear tactics. That's psychological warfare at its finest. And the craziest part? This technique is so effective, it nearly breaks Sasuke, a kid who literally watched his entire clan get massacred. But here's where Zabuza's true genius shows. Watch how he handles Kakashi, a Jonin-level ninja who shouldn't be easily rattled. Instead of just fighting him, Zabuza plays with his greatest weakness, his responsibility to his students. Every water clone, every mist movement isn't just about the attack. It's about forcing Kakashi to make impossible choices. Protect himself or protect his team. Stay together or split up. Each choice is a potential mistake, and Zabuza knows it. Even his partnership with Haku isn't just about having a powerful ally. It's psychological warfare on a whole new level. Think about it. A gentle, soft-spoken boy who apologizes while preparing to kill you? That cognitive dissonance is enough to make anyone hesitate. And hesitation in the ninja world is death. But all of this, the business model, the psychological warfare, the dark reflection of Kakashi, it all leads to something bigger. Something that changes the entire Naruto series. Because Zabuza wasn't just fighting against Team 7, or even the Hidden Mist. He was the first person to look at the entire Hidden Village system and say, this isn't the only way. Think about what the Hidden Villages really are. They're monopolies of violence that train children to be soldiers, control who gets to use their abilities, and claim it's all for peace. When Zabuza attempted his coup in the Hidden Mist, everyone focused on the violence, but they missed the real revolution. He was the first to show that the village's power wasn't absolute. When he tells Naruto that A shinobi is just a tool. He's not being cruel. He's exposing the harsh truth that the villages try to hide behind their headbands and traditions. The only difference between him and them, he's honest about it. The villages pretend their child soldiers are noble warriors. Zabuza calls them what they are, tools of war. This is where his story hits differently. Every major villain that comes after him, Pain, Obito, even Madara, they all build on the foundation Zabuza laid. They just do it on a bigger scale. Pain questions the village system's ability to create peace. Obito rejects the entire notion of the ninja world. Madara tries to break the system entirely. But Zabuza, he was the first to show it could be done. And this brings us to the most mind-blowing part of Zabuza's story. You see, everyone thinks Naruto's journey of understanding pain, questioning the ninja system, and finding a path to peace started with Pain or Jiraiya. But they're wrong. It started on that misty bridge with a demon who turned out to be human after all. Think about what that mission to the Land of Waves really did. It was the first time Naruto saw that villains aren't born. They're created by the same system he was trying to become part of. It was the first time Sasuke faced true fear and powerlessness, planting the seeds that would later make him question everything. And it was the first time Kakashi had to confront the consequences of the ninja world he was introducing his students to. When Zabuza cries for Haku in his final moments, it doesn't just change how we see him, it changes how we see every villain that comes after. Suddenly, evil isn't just evil anymore. Every enemy has a story. Every villain has a point. Every battle isn't just about who's stronger, but about whose pain is more justified. This moment becomes the template for every major confrontation in the series. But here's what really makes Zabuza's impact incredible. He did all of this without some legendary bloodline, without a tailed beast, without some grand destiny. He was just a ninja who dared to question the system, who tried to forge his own path, and who, in the end, showed that even demons can be human. And when you really think about it, isn't that what Naruto's entire story becomes? A journey to understand those who walk different paths, a quest to find answers beyond the village system, a struggle to maintain humanity in a world that treats people like tools. All of these themes, all of these questions, they don't start with Pain's invasion or the Fourth Great Ninja War. They start with a simple mission to the Land of Waves, where a demon taught a boy about humanity and a tool showed him about love. So the next time someone asks you when Naruto became more than just a story about a kid wanting to be Hokage, remind them. It wasn't when Pain destroyed the village. It wasn't when Madara declared war. It was when a demon in the mist showed us that in a world of black and white, the most important truths are found in the gray. Because in the end, Zabuza didn't just change Naruto. He changed how we see the entire ninja world. And maybe, just maybe, that was his greatest revolution of all.